Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. This is a 1v1, a custom 1v1, played on FAF Beta, which is basically a preview of the upcoming balance patch, and it's pretty much at the final stage. I don't expect any significant changes to the patch at this point. So this is pretty much what the next balance patch will look like, and the patch notes are in the description. So we got Keyser playing Cybran on the top, we got Zlo on the bottom playing UEF. The map, it's the classic Badlands. Keyser doing normal build order here. He's making 5 power generators instead of 4. Usually people make 4. He's got factory, 4 mexes. Or sorry, factory, 2 pigeons, 4 mexes. And normally 2 more pigeons for a total of 4, and then a factory. So Keyser's getting 5. Zlo is gonna concentrate all his build power in the hydrocarbon as soon as possible, rather than building in separate locations. Both these builds are fine. This build is, however, more... well, it's less safe, because you don't have your HCU next to the build power over here and this engineer here. You can get raided by a little lab. So this is quite common. There's a lot of mass here, and it's stuck in between all these trees, so you have to sort of manually reclaim all the rocks to fund the opening build order, and this engineer becomes quite vulnerable. And the engineers at the hydro can be vulnerable as well, but not in Zlo's case, as we can see. His ACU is protecting them all. So he makes a lab and a scout, and then he goes very heavy on engineers. Well, quite heavy. 5 engineers. Second land, and no air factory still. He's going to make another hydro. So the lab is getting microed so that it doesn't shoot into the crater or anything. He takes out engineer pretty nicely. So now he's going to run away, try and survive, because obviously there's bound to be a mantis not too far away, and he's correct that there is. So third air from both players. Now a tank moving to the left, one attacking here. So these are definitely the... at the beginning of the game, if you want to know where to attack, the trick is avoiding the ACU. That's the number 1 point about raiding on this map early on. Avoid the ACU, know where he is, know where he's likely to be. The ACU is not going to be over here, most likely. ACU is generally going to walk across the map to secure the further expansions, and units will hold this, so this becomes a bit vulnerable because there's only going to be an engineer building here. Oh, looks like the lab will be spotted. It didn't keep running. If it kept running around, it could actually come back and attack some engineer that expands to these maxes, for example. Keyser now spots the striker coming this way with the air scout, and now he's going to use that air scout to also scout for his mantis that's raiding, but he loses the scout. The striker from Zlo gets cut out. It will go down and will kill the mantis, most likely. Yes, just about killed the mantis, but it goes down itself. This mantis has a nice landscape with it, so it spots 2 engineers, and if it kills both engineers, it's already worth it, I would say, no doubt. Although this mantis has an attack order, so it keeps having to move into range, turn its turret, move into range, turn its turret, and with that, the engineer survives. Oh, nice striker here, but it will go down. Gets a couple kills. Keezer's expansion, well, it looks to be a bit slower. This engineer went all the way to the back mexes. So Keezer may be a bit slower on... Well, maybe not. This is low, kind of slow here. And will he get past this striker? He won't. So a lot of early raids got caught there. Didn't actually make it through because of good scouting. So, now let's see what happens. We've relaxed. The earliest raids have stopped, so what's the next move? Zlo will probably be grouping up all these units here, and then maybe he'll see if he can, if he has more on this side, which he could do, then maybe he'll be pushing. So he has his air there as well. Keezer has a little force looking for opportunities, and he has 3 scouts with him, so he can scout ahead of the Mantis with the land scouts. Maybe keep 1 in the back. And he's running straight into the middle of the base, and Zlo now spots this and has sent about the same number of tanks back to defend against this. He doesn't want to lose any power. Engineers building power also are vulnerable. It looks like he's going to lose. Zlo will lose some engineers here in the base. They're not the worst engineers to lose, but they still have to be replaced. Still painful. Zlo now counterattacking as well on the left. Zlo does not have, or Keezer does not have enough tanks, and all these engineers that are reclaiming are very good targets. Probably, well, no, definitely better than a few tanks here, unless Zlo is very in need of power, which could be the case. But all these engineers dying that are reclaiming is a significant cost, but looks like now eventually all these will get caught. So no Mex is lost over here. Engineer goes down, Mexes will not go down most likely, and this is a good raid. 3 Mex is definitely going to go down. See, there's no units on this side, so this expansion can often be vulnerable, and you can see right now it's very vulnerable. So maybe, well, Zlo chose to attack over here. Keezer's rally points are not very good. I think you want, yeah, Keezer does this chaining the assist orders. I don't really understand the purpose of it, if I'm honest. What's the advantage? But that's how Keezer does it. I've never seen anyone else do this, really. I mean, not to this extent. So yeah, you can see there's a massive hole here. This is often weak. Once the ACU moves across, then you sort of get greedy. You think the ACU can hold the side, and it's pretty open. So if the ACU is back here, he's not covering any of this. And that's why you'll often see a PD built here as well, just to be careful. So yeah, these tanks over here would be a lot more valuable, but still, the tanks in the back, any tanks in the back are worth so much more than tanks back here. You know, the position on the map affects the strength of a unit, which is kind of interesting. These 3 tanks here are worth a lot more than any other 3 tanks that Zlo has on the map. So it means you should pay more attention to them, keep them alive. Because, well, it's difficult to get units in there, so when they are there, take care of them. Pay attention. And also use air scouts to help. But of course he knows where the mexes are, so he doesn't need to scout for mex locations. T2 land 80%. This is Keezer already at T2 land. It's also making economy. It doesn't have any T2 mex just yet. About to finish 1. Zlo already has 4 T2 mass extractors. That's huge. 4 before Kaiser even had his first one. And now, very nice positioning of the ACU, catching many units. All these units could potentially have gotten through. If the ACU is here, these units could run past and it would be very difficult to stop them from killing maybe the whole expansion, but at least a couple of mexes and getting to the back. The ACU is there to stop them on the right. Kaiser has more units, no doubt, than Zlo, but does he have enough to get past all of these and the reinforcements and then continue on to do damage? That's the barrier he has to pass. Just having a few more tanks is not sufficient to actually give you a real advantage. Now it looks like he's not willing to commit all those tanks, unsurprisingly, because if he does, and I guess he doesn't have that many more here. Maybe it's the same number. Zlo has no land scouts here. So we got, what, 25 there. And 34, yeah, so he could definitely win the fight. But all these tanks are going to produce units. They're going to block damage. He's going to leave mass. So he decides not to attack, even though he has more units, and it's probably the right decision. This is a nice bit of micro from Kaiser. Oh, he needs to keep microing. Yeah. Very nice air win. It's one of the advantages of, well, you can win air by using offensive air units. Which is slightly counterintuitive, but that's exactly how it works, is you bait them in. If they have to focus on killing your offensive units, then you can get in behind their interceptors and win air, and you can see it's just a huge air win there. And I think the inti count was not that imbalanced. Kaiser doing far better on reclaim. Over 5,000. Zlo doesn't even have 2,000 reclaimed. I think it's because of these areas here. You can see this is cleaned. This is getting cleaned very fast. There's so many engineers here. I'd say like way too many engineers are built here. But Zlo has both the sides. Kaiser's not grabbing them. Kaiser has a lot of support factories now. Just a huge number. Let's see, we have 5 support factories. We have this one here, the HQ. I guess you can afford more on Badlands even than we have here. Zlo probably has a similar number. Yep, 5 support factories. And he's making a lot of pillars, as you would expect of a UEF player. And he's in the middle making T2 on his ACU. Mostly his army's just strikers now, but actually, yeah, now you can see the support factories kicking in, the first few rhinos or pillars coming out of those factories, meaning he has 10 pillars now. Kaiser is not going for rhinos, he's going for hoplites. He already has 15 of them. The air scouts are sent in to see what's ahead, because he lacks radar at the front. If he doesn't have radar, he's going to be in a big trouble with hoplites. Sparky is surely going to go down. That's a nice kill. Zlo likes to defend with T2 PDs on this map, and T2 PDs are definitely a good option. So killing the Sparky is good, gonna delay the PDs. You can see the hoplites. Well, they're tending to attack the same target all at once, so it's not very effective right now. All their shots are sort of in sync, and they're mostly targeting the same units, so they're overkilling, wasting a lot of DPS. And that was some friendly fire. Killing a Medusa. But Kaiser are doing well, he's keeping them alive. Only one gonna go down now. Time to kite back, but you can see the pillars can die pretty quickly once you have this number of hoplites. You can lose pillars very quickly. That's really the the point of these is to get enough that you can start one-shotting units that you're attacking before they even get into range, and then you're going to be in a good spot. Once you if you have 2 or 3 hoplites, they'll do some damage, things won't die, and then the hoplites will die. So you want to get a good number of them together so you can start immediately killing things that are coming into range. And just remove that any possible DPS they could be giving. Small numbers of pillars dying quickly to Keezer's armies. Keezer being very aggressive now. A lot of T1 bombers coming in, but they're only attacking T1 land. These should be bombed. The T2 engineers, this Sparky as well. You can see he's planning. Oh yeah, there we go. Sparkies have a lot more health, but so the T2 engineers are the best target. 2 bombs will kill them. So there's TMD, there's point defense, as I said, being planned. And we're still making pillars. Actually, Zlo is going for T3 land now. He has 35 pillars. He doesn't have much assist on his HQ. He's also stalling mass, so that upgrade is going to go slowly. He's at 50% now. If we look at his economy, all the back base is upgraded. So that means he doesn't really have to build TMD because they're so far back. Well, he could still get TML'd, but it's risky. It's very vulnerable to drops, but I guess he feels confident against that because he has both plateaus, so you can't actually sneak past his radar. You'd have to use stealth. But then again, he has 2 interceptors, so even if there is a drop, can he stop it with 2 interceptors? I don't think so. So drops would be extremely good here if Keezer knows that all this is back here, but he doesn't. So Keezer doesn't actually know the economy of Zlo. He's probably more interested in trying to kill Zlo. Oh, there goes an overcharge. I think he probably targeted something and it died immediately after, so the overcharge went flying. Zlo's dropping low, but still on 6,000 HP. T2 and gun on this ACU. And there's only really Medusa in this army, so there's no way to kill the ACU. Keezer's saying he should have made Rhino there. I guess versus the ACU, but well, definitely a Rhinos would have done better. The ACU for Zlo is dodging constantly, which you can do versus the hoplite rockets. But now, look at this. He's running in. There goes the T2 PD. There's no T2 PD here anymore. There's T1 PD. Hoplite's doing pretty good. Even though they die so quickly, there was a lot of them, putting a lot of damage out, and only 1 PD, so it went down. The pillars are all focused on the middle because Zlo is worried about his ACU, but the attack has moved to the left now. How is that T3 HQ going? 93%. Keezer still on T2. Has now started moving to T3. And it's definitely, I mean, it makes sense for Keezer to move to T3 now. You can see this attack here will buy him all the time he needs to get to T3. He's unlikely to get pushed because Zlo is going to be reacting to this. So that makes sense to tech at this point. This time is what you need to change your tech, and this attack gives him a lot of time. And now he's getting into the back base. Does he know? Yeah, you see, he doesn't know these are all T2, but he is about to find out. Now he's unfortunately killing himself a bit with his hoplites. Oh, he lost a stealth bot because of a landed plane. That's sad. Now gunships from Keezer to provide a different threat. And I didn't see any flak really. Yeah, we just have T1 anti-air. T3 land is done. Still no attempt to get the plateaus back. Keezer made T2 air. He could, if he had 2 Corsairs, he could kill this whole plateau, or if he dropped just some T2 units. If he dropped a T3 unit, he would surely take it back, but he's still on T2 at the minute. And now Zlo under big pressure, but he's about to get another vet level. Amazing, up to 11k now, and there's only hoplites coming towards him. The gunships are the biggest danger, I would say. Still no inties for Zlo. But here come multiple flaks. Oh, it looks like this mech was... well, Kiza ran past it, and now he's finishing the hoplites with Titans. Still, the gunships are alive. I think the first flak must have been killed by something. I'm not sure what. But Zlo, even though it looks like a low health bar, still only at 6,000, 5,600. Holy crap. Excellent mass bar from Zlo. Now let's see Keyser. Much nicer mass bar, to be honest. Many pigeons. No shield here. For some reason. Has a lot of power. In overflow. It got quite a few mexes also at the back. And now the T2 area is being sent after the plateau. It's kind of messing up by being sort of off the plateau. It's shooting it to the mountain. That's nasty. Guess you need to move on to really make sure your units are on top of the plateau before they can shoot. Just the joys of elevation in Supreme Commander here, especially in regard to, well, in regard to air units. So we have T3 land, and Keyser's gone for trebuchets. Zlo is going for Titans. Now that doesn't sound like a good matchup for the trebuchet. Treb is going to do amazing work versus all the T2 land that Zlo has, which is most of his army, I would say. Yeah, it's about half the mass cost of all of his units right now. Now that's going to change as it turns into T3 land units primarily. But for now, a lot of his army is pillars, and that's going to be absolutely annihilated by trebuchets. You can see Zlo splitting his army into many different pieces to avoid the damage, which is a pretty nice move. And you can also see how he puts all his Titans in the one place, so 8 Titans is very hard to stop. Oh. So he's scouting ahead to see maybe where you can send the Titans. See this expansion here, there's no defenses. There's no unit that can kill those Titans. 15 hoplites will not kill 8 Titans, I guarantee it. So it's a dangerous force, and Zlo needs to use it sooner rather than later. There's so many trebuchets from Keyser. This seems like a mistake. He should not be building this many. Now he is building bricks now. Wow, he has a lot of T3 support factories, but still no bricks. And that's a problem with the support factories. They will delay, or they are delayed. You have to be very careful what you build out of the first factory. Now he's cleaning up all this attack with a lot of hoplites. And the hoplites are going to kind of kill each other. So right on top of the pillars. So you get some friendly fire. Oh, now the trebs are friendly firing as well. That's really bad. Keyser has no upgrade on his ACU. He's over here. Oh, and here come the Titans, and there's very little vision for Keyser. The attack is coming. And there's 9 Titans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bricks come out of the factory all at once, but they are very far away, and the ACU is actually getting surrounded by all these Titans. Does Keyser have overcharge? He does. Oh, he's using auto overcharge. Oh no, he's gonna die. Doesn't get a veteran seat. Keezer says he should have won it. I wonder what decision he thinks was the problem there. I think, yeah, way too many trebs. That has to be a pretty obvious problem. He made like only trebuchets out of his HQ. 9 trebs. So relying on the support factories to give you the bricks, you can see how many T3 units he got out before the support factories kicked in. That was definitely, I would say, the major problem. He shouldn't have had trouble. I mean, if he could easily have 3 bricks here, and he could start with trebs and then have 3 bricks, and in the right position they would stop the Titans. Of course, along with T2 air, there'd be no problem. And that's probably the main problem. I mean, the hoplites, would rhinos have been better? I mean, some rhinos would have been better, but the hoplites did well, for sure. And they could have also killed a couple of mexes here at the back. The plateau was never retaken, but it was killed. And I always like to get an AC upgrade on this map because the ACU can get very exposed just because of the size of the map and how much mass you have. The ACU can be in a lot of danger at a lot of times. You're close to your opponent. They have a huge amount of mass to use, so I always like to get, you know, T2 or something. Then at least you can build some defenses for yourself. Or if you have the gun, you can overcharge a bit better. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Zlo, nice gameplay. Keezer as well. Keezer being very aggressive, but yeah, if he didn't have to deal with a powerful T2 UEF ACU, I feel like Zlo might have been in trouble. But yeah, well played, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.